In this video, we will see how to load a model called ECEC into CORMAS Pharo. Here we will not see the details of the ECEC model nor how to develop a model, but it is a quick look at the basic use of an agent-based model already created. The model is, in fact, the evolution of cooperation in an ecological context, which is available online for to see any details of this model. So in the initial screen, we can see that in Pharo, unlike Visualworks, everything is contained in a single window, which is known as the world. And so we can access the CORMAS application through the menu, and the interface that opens is similar to the previous version in Visualworks. Generally speaking, most of the interface follows the Visualworks design to ease the transition for existing CORMAS users. In the interface, most of the options will be disabled since we do not have any projects open. But even so, some options are available. For example, in case that you find an error at some point, you can open the tools menu and select the developer option to developer tools option and open an issue. This will open a page where you can report any issue in CORMAS. And note that for this, you need to have a personal account registered in the GitHub platform. So once we open the interface, we can go to File and Open, and a window will open to select a project. In CORMAS now we have projects, and their advantage basically is that they can contain metadata and resources plus source code, and all in versioned form. But unlike Visualworks, these artifacts are now much easier to add by any modeler, as they are in folders and organized by resource type. And as we can see, CORMAS already includes some pre-installed models in the form of demos. By selecting one of the models, we can quickly view its metadata and also preview its source code through a classic Smalltalk class browser. We know without the need to open this model, we can browse the classes which contains and see the source code. Also, an UML preview is available. Is a beta feature, and if the model includes an animation or an image, you can see it in this box here. Let's open. This is the UML classes. And now let's open the ECEC model. We can open with a double click. When we open this project, which includes the model, we see that most of the interface options are now enabled, and now we can inspect the model or just run it. And one of the first things that we will want to do after opening a project is to configure its startup parameters. For this, we click on this button that opens the scenario window, and we see that we have three lists from which we can select the initialization method. And this method usually configures a space and the location and number of agents, and the proofs that we want to observe, and the control method. And this method represents the entry point of the model for each iteration, and we can also browse the source code which implements this method, and the same for the initialization method. So when clicking apply, we see that the model is initialized according to the selected initialization method, and in this case the method specifies that the space window will be open. So here we see that here we can see that the two types of agents, blue and red, and we see that if we click the forward button, a step of the model will be executed, and the space will be updated according to the movement rules specified and implemented by the modeler. We also have access to most interesting details of each entity by hovering the mouse without the need to open an inspector, and we can also zoom to see closer details. At the same time, if we click one of the entities, we access the inspector provided by Pharo, which has the advantage of being easily browsable. And we can visualize the message that the entity we're inspecting can receive. In case that there are multiple entities, a window will open, allowing to select which entity you want to inspect. Additionally, it's possible to open more spaces to and see multiple visualizations of a space, and this feature is mostly used when setting a different point of view, which is a feature of CORMAS. We can set a foragers vision, and we see that only the view only updates with the vision of each of the foragers. Um, um, we can also see the proofs display window, where here we see an histogram that is dynamically updated at each step, and we have options to show or hide the proofs that are displayed. And so now we can select multiple proofs as desired and also change the color of each proof. And normally you can unselect here one of the proofs and continue run to run the simulation to see at different scales what's happening with the model, with the simulation. And we can also close all these windows and continue running the simulation to gain speed of execution. We can change the final step here to have more steps and just run the simulation. And this will be a lot faster than updating the interface, and we can reopen the space and see how it was updated with the latest data, and the same for the proofs. Naturally, the menu includes basic options to export the resulting simulation, or also there are options to inspect the model uh, to see the entities that remain, etc. And also there are other interesting options here to inspect the model or browse directly the model through the Smalltalk class browser here, and we can see all the model classes. That is basically an overview of the CORMAS in the Pharo platform for now.